Frankie here at TCSA. First of all, thank you very much for your interest in the new Unstoppable Player Program. I'm going to go through your two options for the program in a second. First of all, I want to tell you why I've come to the decision to radically change the training model at my academy. It was after some very deep personal introspection, reflection, soul searching, and reconnecting with the vision of what TCSA is about, which is getting the very best out of individual players. And although we've done some fantastic work, myself and the coaching teams, the people I've had over the last 8 years since we formed as TCSA, 10 years if you include times that I was working independently while still working at Swansea City. So even though there's been some great work done and some amazing achievements of our players within the model, there's been an element of it which has only been done by a small amount of people, yet it's radically more successful than the rest of the model. So the reason why it's so successful is because it solves two of the biggest problems that young players have trying to make their way in the game. Number one, a lack of individual attention and support from someone who's in your corner, knows what makes you tick, is there to support you and help you get the best out of yourself. That's the first problem so many players have trying to make their way in the game. Number two is the people supporting them not only need to have the right intentions and the level of attention that they can give, but they also need to have the knowledge, the tools, the insight, the understanding to be able to pass on to you so that you're not doing everything through trial and error. And I found that when I look at, for example, the players we've had signed by professional clubs, 30 players now signed by professional clubs from TCSA, 22 of them have done a very personalised approach with me. So it's not rocket science. You know, when you get more attention from someone who's got the experience. So, you know, I'm bringing my experience of working from grassroots all the way up to pro clubs. I've got my experience of working with world-class athletes like Sean Davis, where I helped her win the World Taekwondo Championship. Mike Ruddock, you know, when he was manager of the Welsh national team, I consulted with Mike Ruddock. I've consulted with individual Premier League football players, individual top-level rugby players. So I'm bringing all of that experience when I'm working in small groups with players. So it's a technical approach, but it's also the wider aspects of how we accelerate a human being's development so that they can really have nothing holding them back and excel at the highest level they can possibly go. That's what really excites me. And, you know, that's why I'm more excited than ever about this new direction that we're going in. Now, we're going to be starting in the first week of February. And I want to let you know that the original spaces we made available are already full. But because we filled it up so quickly, we are looking now to open up just one more group. We're not going to open up any more groups. So it's going to be 5 groups, 30 players in total. That means there's room for another 6 players because our format of training is a maximum of 6 players per group so that we can give everybody the individual attention they need and still develop them in a game-related format. Okay, it's going to be over a 90-day program. Now, the reason why I've gone for 90 days is straightforward. It's long enough to get significant breakthroughs in confidence, in game understanding, in team skills, in physical development, and what I call self-mastery, the ability to get the best out of yourself, confidence, attitude, focus, discipline, and so on. Okay, so it's long enough to get those breakthroughs in those areas. And if your son or daughter is like most players out there, it's going to be a combination of those factors that they need to develop, although probably 1 or 2 key areas, which at the moment will make all the difference for them. Okay, so it's long enough to get those breakthroughs, and yet it's short enough to maintain focus so that you can really apply yourself to the maximum in this program. Now, when I say apply yourself to the maximum, of course, I understand these are still young players. It's very much still going to be about enjoyment, but the focused approach is going to be for the players who really enjoy learning, stretching themselves, being stimulated, and really just excelling. Okay, so 90-day format, 6 players in a group, and then we've got 2 packages, 2 programs. Okay, the first program is what everybody gets. Okay, the second program is you get some extras. All right, so the first program is you get 12 weeks of training with me in small group format over a 90-day period. Okay, so we're training virtually every week. We are going to be breaking for holidays at February half term, Easter half term, 2 weeks at Easter, and so on. Now, we've also got then a goal setting session. Now, that is very important because that's going to give us the focus on your individual child. Now, they're going to go into every session with individual targets. So one of the big differences in this program is I'm not only going to be planning and delivering and reviewing every session, I'm also going to be a lot more hands-on in between sessions. So I want to have an impact in between sessions because that's where the real magic is. Yes, we can improve them fantastically well with weekly training. And yet, if we can affect the way they live their lives, the way they think about themselves and the game, then we've got a chance to have a real lasting change in them as a player and as a person. Okay, so that's why I've set up an accountability group, which we're going to do online, and players and parents are going to be involved. You're only going to be in a group with 6 other families, and we're going to be following through on what we've been doing in the sessions. I'm going to be setting the players challenges. So if it's a skill we've been working on, I'm going to be asking them to go away and practice that and post up evidence of it. I'm going to be asking them to go away and meet challenges to get out of their comfort zone socially and talk to people. I'm going to be asking them to watch matches on TV. Nothing too crazy, simple match analysis tasks to help them with their understanding and awareness of the game. And I'm going to be asking them to improve their routines, getting to bed on time, simple stuff, okay, what they're eating, and just post up some evidence of it. Now, like I say, I realize we're all human beings, nobody's perfect, but if we can have a positive influence on the way your child is living their life, then this program is going to be, more than worth it just for that, as well as everything else you get. So what else do you get? You get a written report. We're just doing our last reports for TCSA for the year just gone. So I'll be writing every report personally from now on, as well as delivering every session personally. So every session will be delivered personally, exclusively by me. This is the only place at the moment for the foreseeable future you can get Frankie as your coach, okay? I will be supported by some other coaches, but I will be the main coach at every session, okay? So your child is going to get a lot more attention generally, a lot more attention from me. I'm going to be very hands-on. Now, I can't do this alone. I need the players to give their absolute best if we're going to get the best out of them, and I need support from you as parents as well, but we're going to work as a team, okay? We're going to use the groups, the online groups, to really help your child move forward week on week, month on month, so that by the end of the 90 days, we can look back and say, what an improvement, what a difference, right? So there's 3 aspects that we want to see a difference in. Outcomes. So we're going to be encouraging your child to, set goals and outcomes, things that they actually want to achieve. And we can say, yes, they achieved it, or no, they didn't, right? Now, if they don't achieve their outcomes, that's not necessarily a disaster. So they might have a goal to get into a pro academy within 90 days, okay? For some, they might be closer than others. They might want to be player of the season for their local team. They might want to get into a cup final. So some of these things are not always within their control, but that's not a reason not to set outcome goals. It's good to set goals, good to aim for things, okay? Then it's about how do we control the controllables? If we can't control everything, how do we move ourselves closer to that goal to give ourselves the best chance of achieving it? So those are the process goals, right? So how do I improve my left foot? Can I improve my left foot within the next 90 days so that when I'm through on goal, I can strike it with my left. I don't have to wait and turn onto my right foot. Can I improve my confidence? Can I improve my speaking? Can I improve my understanding of the game? Can I improve my shielding? We could break it down. I won't go on and on and on, but every player will have their own individual process goals, okay? Then we're going to have, which I think is perhaps the most important type of goal, which is being goals. How do you want to be after 90 days? How do you want to feel after 90 days? Do you want to feel more confident? Do you want to feel more relaxed, even when you're playing against challenging opposition on a big occasion, when someone's making it more difficult for you, or whatever situation you're currently struggling? How do you want to be instead? How do you want to feel about yourself and about certain situations? Okay, so there are achievement goals or outcome goals. There are process goals that help you get to the outcomes. And then perhaps the most important is the being goals. There's no point in achieving something if it doesn't make you happy, if you don't feel better. So that's what the being goals are there for, right? So I'm very keen to, and I've already started with the players who've already signed up. I'd be very keen to do that with you as a family. We'll be going through that. So that's level 1, okay? Level 2 is everything on level 1, plus, in a nutshell, a lot more support on mindset, okay? So yes, you get some support on mindset in level 1, especially during the sessions. I won't be holding anything back, okay? And within the support group for level 1, I can answer questions and give you the basics on mindset. Level 2 is going into a lot more depth on your individual mindset. So I'll be giving you the Unstoppable Player. I just realized I forgot on the level 1, there's the Unstoppable Player ebook, which has got everything you need to do to improve in all areas. Level 2, we've got the Unstoppable Player Mindset Toolkit, right? So that is a lot more specific on routines, exercises that you can do on a daily basis to get yourself into peak state and become unstoppable up there first. If we're going to become unstoppable in the outside world, we need to win the inner game first. So that's what the level 2 is about. So that is, as well as the ebook, you're going to get guidance from me on a personal level, going through it in video format, in a coaching call format, making sure you understand every step, every exercise, every part of the program for mindset. Okay, so that's the distinction there. Level 1 and level 2. Level 1, you get 12 weeks of training. You get the Unstoppable Player ebook. You get the goal setting call. You get the support group, and you get the review at the end of the 90 days. All written by me, all delivered by me. Level 2, you get everything that you get on the first level, plus you get mindset support from me. So that's coaching as well as an ebook to make sure that you have all the tools that you'll ever need to become unstoppable and win the inner game before you win the outer game. So that's it in a nutshell. Thank you for your interest. What you need to know now is that we've only got 6 spaces, so they're going to go on a first come, first served basis. We start in February, so we've only got just over a week to for you to take action. If they're gone in a couple of days, they're gone in a couple of days, and we won't be starting a new 90-day program until well into the summer. So if you want to finish the season strong, and you want to improve your confidence in your skills and your attitude now and get the best support on it, then now's the time to take action. I'm really excited about this new program, and I hope that you can come with me along this journey because it's going to be fantastic. Speak to you soon.